Hi, welcome to the Bee Rookie. I'm Simon, and today we're going to be taking the tabs off a caged queen. There's two to do in this apiary, so let's get into it.
With me trying to pretend that I know what I'm doing. Welcome to the Bee Rookie.
So what we're going to be doing today is we've bought, I bought 3 mated queens from Lawrence of Black Mountain Honey. They've been in these nukes and another hive which is down at the farm apiary, which we'll do later. Eight days. So what we're going to do in today is we're going to go through each of the frames. We're going to shake all the bees off. We're going to check the frames for any queen cells, any sign of queen cells. We're going to remove all of those, okay, which makes the colony hopelessly queenless. Once they're hopelessly queenless, they've had the queen in with them since day 4. So I made them hopelessly queenless. I made them queenless, which is me removing 2 frames of brood from a sort of donating hive. So it was 2 frames of capped brood, some brood in all stages and a few eggs, and then 1 frame of food, which was pollen, honey and nectar. Okay, so that went into each of the nukes. They didn't have the queen because the queen stayed with the hives that they're in. These have come to a new apiary site, and then what we're going to do today is we're going to go through, make sure they've not made any queen cells, emergency cells, or anything like that. If they have, we'll take them down. We'll remove the tabs from the cage. The fondant that's within the cage, the bees will then eat through slowly, and then we'll be in a position then when we can slowly release the queen. I am going to get into the bees and show you what we're talking about. So hive 16, this hive's been out today. So these bees were locked up last night because I took them to a nursery to do a bee talk to the children today, and I'd accidentally squished one of the bees when I put the crown board on, and they were more interested in the squished bee and why I'd done that than they were of anything else. So we've got, that's just an empty frame. Okay, so we've got that out of the way for now. Just gives us room to work. And then got a frame that they're drawing out, which is positive and good to see. Okay, so that's that. So we're not squishing anymore. So the cage is on this one. Just take the cage away, and if I brush the bees off, they're not trying to sting the queen or anything like that. It's nice behaviour. We have the queen in there, so she's in there, you can see. So what we're going to do today is remove the tabs at the back of the cage, and then we'll reintroduce her. So for the moment though, I did say earlier it was day 8, it was not, it's day 10, it's tab removal day. So I went in the other day, and what I've done is shake off all the bees, check each frame and make sure that there's no queen cells. So as you can see, we've got one there that they've made. So we're just going to take these queen cells down. checking obviously everything. I must have missed that the other day. But there we go, that's why we shake the bees off. And move her to there, I think. Just looking at that frame, doesn't appear to be, but better to be safe than sorry. So exactly the same again, we'll shake the bees off and make sure that there's no queen cells in there, which there isn't. This just looks like a frame of stores. It's one of the two frame that clip together for the Abello frames. So they're for a future project. But that's just full of stores. There's no queen cells on there. And the last one, I've literally got nothing, but we'll just give it a shake. So it's covered in bees. And there we go. So that now is fine. They're still on 3 frames. The queen will be in between the 2. So I can see her already. Just smoke the bees down. It'll be okay. And then I'm just going to introduce this. So the bees, their behaviour at the moment, they're not aggressive, they're literally feeding her. So we know she's in there, we can see her, she's walking around nicely. So we're just going to pop the tab off, like that. I like to take the tab fully off. Just get your hive tool in there. Remove the tab. So they've got the fondant there, they'll chew through that fondant and then release that queen. So just squeeze her in there, make sure we don't squish any bees. Put it on sideways like that, squeeze the frames together. So she's nice and level, like that. The fondant's now exposed, the tabs are off, and then what we'll do is put this back together. And hopefully we'll come back in about 10 days, give them a chance to settle and accept her. And we'll come back in 10 days and we will hopefully see a released queen. Hive is getting named after the nursery I went to today, so this is going to be a named hive. So Noah's Ark, if you are watching, thank you for having me, and there's your bees in situ. Let's have a look at them at the front. They're happy, they're just fanning now, so everything's good. So yeah, that is queen introduction. Not as complicated or anything weird, it's just about timings. You've got to ensure that your timings are correct. So day 0, you make them queenless. You can introduce the queen at any point during that period. So what I do is I sort of look about when the queens will arrive. I like them to be queenless for a few days before I introduce the queens, but you can introduce them, for instance, if they arrive today when they're hopelessly queenless. So making them hopelessly queenless, what we've done is we have gone through all of the frames, we've shook the frames, we've made sure there is absolutely no queen cells on those frames. So now both hives are hopelessly queenless. That was done 2 days ago, so that's on day 8. Day 8, make them hopelessly queenless. Belt and braces on day 10, when I introduce the queens, as in I remove the tabs, I still go through. So 2 days ago I went through, I took down the queen cells and there was a lot of them. Gone through today and there was still some more, so either I've missed them or they've started again, which, you know, realistically isn't going to produce a great queen anyway, because they wouldn't have the resources. But now they're completely resourceless. They haven't got any eggs, they haven't got any brood in the right stage to be able for them to be able to make a queen. So what we've got now is 2 new colonies, the brand new queen. They'll eat through the fondant in the cage. She'll be slowly introduced into the hives. Fingers crossed, we'll come back in another 10 days and we'll come and check on both queens to see if they've been introduced.